Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this June the 19th, 2024. I'm hoping everybody had a great Wednesday out there so far. Everybody had a great Wednesday evening. Hope everybody continue to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in tonight's video, we're going to be talking about Tropical Storm Alberto has formed in the Gulf of Mexico and head toward the coast of Mexico as well. Also, we're going to take a look at the forecast chart, which also which may affect the southeastern United States coast. We're going to continue to monitor that, and we'll take a look at that as well. And also a little bit of severe weather over portions of the northeastern U.S. So stick around through the entire video. Do not miss a beat of this forecast, and make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel yet. Also like these videos, share these videos, and let's go ahead and get the show on the road there, folks. Alright, you can see here we got Alberto churning in the Atlantic, also down toward the Yucatan Peninsula. All the moistures to the north and to the west, and also to the southwest as well. Mexico is going to get a lot of precipitation, as well as Texas. Okay. Then we're going to look at the spaghetti of the system. Alright. This was at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time Wednesday, the center of the storm. Tropical Storm Alberto making the coast near 1 a.m. Thursday. And then a depression by 1 p.m. Thursday afternoon over central Mexico. We have tropical storm warnings here in the blue from portions of Texas all the way down to the west coast of Mexico. Alright, here at the 4 p.m. Current position, 21.9 north, longitude 95.3 west, with higher gusts, and moving us to the west-southwest at 9 miles per hour. Classified as a tropical storm with winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour. It could intensify up to almost 50 miles per hour storm before it moves inland over portions of Mexico. Alright, let's take a look at the spaghetti model for this system. From the National Hurricane Center models, current position of the storm takes across Mexico and moves it south of the Baja area of California and into the eastern Pacific. Alright, and finally let's take a look at the storm intensity guidance of this system. Alright, you can see right now it has about 35 knot winds equal to 40 miles per hour. Remains a tropical storm and then rapidly falls off into a depression in about 24 hours down the road. Alright, so this is your update for Tropical Storm Alberto. Alright, now let's take a look at the lower 48. Start off with Thursday forecast. Here you go. Alright, we've got thunderstorms and showers from up here from Port of New Brunswick to Maine, all the way back into Michigan, down to Ohio, down to Kentucky, stretching all the way back over to Minnesota through the Dakota, back into Wyoming, also down into Arizona, New Mexico. A little bit of thunderstorm and shower over Washington State as well. More thunderstorms and showers from New Mexico to Arizona to Texas, northeast Mexico, all the way over to the Gulf of Mexico, also into Florida Keys, and into portions of Georgia and South Carolina. Across portions of New Hampshire, back into New York State, some severe weather possible in the yellow slashed area. Also some heavy rain and flash flooding expected in portions of Minnesota, Iowa, back into portions of South Dakota, portions of Colorado and northern New Mexico, southeastern Mexico, and portions of south and southwestern Texas as well. A little bit of mixed precipitation over here in portions of Wyoming as well. Otherwise, dry high pressure in charge of much of Canada. Also into the northwestern U.S., southwestern U.S., the Four Corners region that is, Gulf of California, much of Mexico, portions of the south and eastern U.S., southeastern U.S., back up into Delaware and New Jersey. and also into portions of the Mid-Atlantic region as well. All right, all this activity is for your Thursday, June the 20th. All right, let's move on to your Friday forecast. You can see we got some thunderstorms and showers from ports of Maine to Rhode Island and New Jersey, straight through Maine. Back into Michigan, Wisconsin, back into Minnesota, southern Canada as well, around the Great Lakes, stretching back in through Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, northwestern portion of Mexico, also into South Texas, Gulf of Mexico, also across South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and into Alabama, and the Panhandle, Florida region as well. Otherwise, dry high pressure is in charge of much of Canada, also in the northwestern U.S., southwestern U.S., Gulf of California, much of Mexico, also portions of the south central U.S., also into the portion of the southeast, and some heavy rain and flash flooding expected over portions of Wisconsin and Minnesota, South Dakota, Iowa, same in Utah and Colorado, and a few pockets of mixed precipitation over in portions of Montana and Wyoming region as well. Also expect dry high pressure in portions of Gulf of California, Mexico, Yucatan Peninsula, Jamaica, Cuba, the Bahamas, over into portions of New Brunswick area. All of this activity is for your Friday, June the 21st. All right, let's take a look at the watch and warn advisory map. Okay, we got some heat advisories up here from portion of Maine to Pennsylvania to portion of Ohio and also West Virginia, also into Michigan and Indiana. We have a few pockets of sets of heat warnings in effect for portion of Maine, down into portions of New Hampshire, also Pennsylvania, and also Ohio and Indiana. Some air quality alerts over portions of Indiana there as well, special weather statements also. We have some flood warnings over portions of northeast Minnesota with some more pockets of flood warnings in effect for Minnesota, Kansas, also into Texas. We have that tropical storm warning in effect still for the Gulf of Mexico, also southeast Texas, special weather statements there, and flood watches also. Coastal flood advisories and wind advisory across the portion of Louisiana over towards Alabama. Severe thunderstorm watching in West Texas, also into New Mexico with some flood watches there. Wind advisory over portion of Nevada, also in the portion of New Mexico. New Mexico and Arizona, excuse me. Says of heat watches also in effect, a heat warning in effect for Arizona, heat advisory for California. Small craft advisory from portion of Washington State down to Southern California. Same across portion of Texas back to the Florida Keys, to the South Carolina coast, the Outer Banks as well. And also Central and South Hawaii and Chain Island, same way, small craft advisory. North look good, and Alaska looks good also. Alright, now let's move on to 92L. Alright, as you can see, it's not very well organized. You can see it's trying to get its act together. That's why they only have it about 20% over the next 7 days, 20% over the next 48 hours as well. That's why, but it still could become a tropical storm. It would not be surprised to see it become Tropical Storm Beryl. That'll be the next name on the list. All right, let's take a look at the GFS ensembles, and then we'll take a look at the intensity guidance. All right, you can see here's pretty much where it's at now. Most of the model takes it in the north. The model keeps it along the coastal areas, but most of them do take the low pressure inland. So if it do get its act together, it may bring some rain to the southeastern United States, which will be much needed rainfall. Alright, and let's see if we can get back to the intensity guidance of the system. That's why I'm expecting it possibly to become Tropical Storm Beryl. As you can see here, it's had about 30 knot winds, equal to 35 miles per hour. Some of the computer models do take it into a tropical storm status. Then it weakens it, but then turns it back into a tropical storm later. But right now, in the short term, it could become Tropical Storm Beryl at any given time. So we'll continue to monitor that as we get closer to moving weather, as it moves closer to the southeastern U.S. coast. All right, let's wrap it up with the Storm Prediction Center outlook for severe weather on your Thursday. Alright, as you can see, we got general thunderstorm pretty much across most of the nation. Like I said, for portions of Washington State, back into portion of Great Fall, down to portion of Fort Stockton, down to Brownsville, over toward Tampa, Miami, Jacksonville. And then here's the severe weather. We got a marginal risk over from Denver to Cheyenne, just southwest of Valentine. This is where the main severe weather event for the Northeast, from portion of Burlington to Portland, all the way down to Scranton, and also in the portion just east of Cleveland and north of Pittsburgh. And if you're in the 15% risk area, this includes Buffalo, also Albany, and also Springfield area of the northeastern United States. All right, let's take a look at tornado probability. 2% just pretty much around Cheyenne. Damaging winds, 5% in that area, 15% in the northeast. And large hail, pretty much 5% in the northeast and also around Cheyenne, Wyoming, and down toward Denver, Colorado. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. So enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. We'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday evening, folks. Take care.